naturally channels you with this energy of how to respond to the present moment. If we try to control how we're going to respond next to life, to situations, to people, if we try to control the future, we're just going to mess up. We're going to be awkward. We're going to be this, that. It's not going to be pure. It's not going to be intentional. It's not going to be the best. The best will come when you surrender to this present moment. Hello, 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 and welcome to the ASMR podcast, episode 3. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about meditation, everything about it. Well, not everything, because I'm not going to, we're going to be talking about the impacts it has had on me, because I meditated every day this year, besides 5 days. I missed 5 days because I was in Utah, and, I was adjusting and stuff, but I have never meditated this consistently, and I'm going to be telling you what I've learned so far, the insights that I've had, the lessons. At the end, I'll tell you how to meditate if you don't already, but I know this sounds like, boring. A lot of people think, oh, meditation, boring, don't hear about it. If you don't already, I am really going to try to convince you to start meditating. All of my life, I have never meditated consistently. You know why? I thought, what is it gonna do? It sounds boring, number one. Number two, I had more important things to do. I thought, I don't really need to, because what does sitting quietly for 10 minutes do? I just thought it was kind of like, not stupid, I believed that people had huge impacts, but I never made it a priority, which is insane because I'm the biggest overthinker. And even one meditation alone, because I would meditate on and off, I don't even know if I've ever, oh yeah, I have, but I would never meditate day after day after day. It was always here and there, and it was barely. But this year, it was a resolution for me to really meditate every single day, and I know it only takes 10 minutes. And I was in the beginning, that was my biggest intention, because of how much impact one meditation has on me. What if I were to do it every day? So I'm going to be telling you from first-hand experience what meditation does, what it has done to me so far, and it's only March. Alright, so I searched up on Google the benefits of meditation, and I'm just going to list those real quick, and then I'll talk about my experience and why you should do it. It's insane, and once again, I'm telling you, I used to think, what is meditation gonna do? What are the impacts it could possibly have on me? I didn't have patience with it, didn't make it a priority, although I'm scrolling on TikTok for hours, and I can't take 10 minutes to just not have a goal, to not be stimulated by something outside of myself. 10 minutes, we are, I can, be in the shower for more than 10 minutes. I can be, on my phone, scrolling aimlessly, not getting anything for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is nothing. Alright, let's talk about the benefits, and then we'll talk about my experience. So, Google says it reduces stress, controls anxiety, helps with emotional health, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, so increases self-awareness, attention span. By the way, if I look orange, I probably am. I use the foundation that's kind of, I used not in the summer, but when I was tanner than I was, and I don't think it looks that great. Alright, it helps with attention span, generates kindness and patience, helps fight addictions and phobias, reduces age-related memory loss, and increases creativity and imagination. Let's talk about my experience. So I understand all of those things of what Google says, and this is what I am learning. So, overthinking and control. Let me talk about that. So, I am the biggest overthinker, and I notice this was one intuitive idea that I got during a meditation, after a meditation, because it was like this download, this download from source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. All of my overthinking stems from control. Control of every situation, needing to control how the future is going to be, needing to know how it's going to be, not wanting to be in the unknown, not wanting to be uncomfortable. In the most weirdest ways as well. So, for example, I have a fear of going to the bathroom on a plane. I fear the toilet. I don't know why. I fear, this having to go to the bathroom in, like, the toilet itself. And if I have to sit for hours, I get anxiety before flights. I'm not afraid of, crashing on a flight. I'm not afraid of what the general population would be of. I'm afraid of the bathroom. I don't know why, but anyway, before flights, and it's not even just flights, this is just one example, I get so in my head about what I'm eating in the morning. I get anxious even stepping into the airport. I have to even control my eating the night before because I have to make sure that I'm not going to have to go to the bathroom. I stop drinking. Well, I don't completely stop because I need some water, but I really limit my water, and I'm controlling all these things right before the situation because I'm very stressed that what if I have to go to the bathroom on an airplane? That's a phobia. That's like something that really I can't explain the feeling that it causes. And I have all this future-based thinking of, let's say for example, going on a hike. What if I'm uncomfortable? What do I wear? What do I do? Am I gonna get hurt? I am just always thinking. It's not even that shallow of thinking. I'm talking about even huge scenarios. What happens one day when I have to move? How's my mom gonna react? And I'm trying to handle all these emotional future case scenarios that don't even exist. I'm living. I was. Okay, because, big changes happening. I was living constantly in the future, trying to make sure that my future self would be comfortable. And so I was never fully present because I was always thinking of the next thing. Will I be comfortable in the next moment? Will I be prepared for the next moment? Prepared for what, first of all? So, during a meditation, and, when I started meditating in January, these anxiety waves came up in me, like these horrible anxiety attacks. And I'm gonna tell you, if you first start meditating, you might experience anxiety because I didn't realize it then because I was just really in it. But I think what I was experiencing was a releasing of control, a releasing of, future thinking, a releasing of my overthinking towards what's gonna happen next. And I was really stepping out of my comfort zone, and with that was meditation. Meditation was an uncomfortable thing for me to fully go within, and I think these anxiety waves happened because things were coming up that I've been repressing and holding on to, and I was releasing the anxiety of my future base thinking, my overthinking. And in February, I had this huge revelation of surrendering to whatever happens. And so this is something I've noticed. So another thing with the phobias and weird things, I'm not gonna say that I have OCD, but I have always thought and realized, and my mom thinks this too, that I have a lot of OCD tendencies when it comes to germs, when it comes to cleaning, when it comes to obsessive thinking. I can't even explain it, but the other day, so this happened just recently, so keep in mind obsessive cleaning and stuff. The other day, there was a birthday party for my grandma, and these little kids, my cousins or whatever, it was my cousin's kids, nephews, they were in my room, and they're 4 or something, 4 or 3, and I didn't even know they were in my room. They came downstairs all of these things, and they were throwing my stuffed animals on the ground. They were like opening my bags of things, and every adult was like looking at me saying like, oh, is it okay if they, and I was just trying to control myself. Like, I have this thing with my things. If my things are like touched or messed with, it really triggers me for some reason. Not anymore, because I noticed a shift. Of course I still reacted a little bit because my stuffed animals that I sleep with, like, a pillow, was getting thrown on the ground. And then they came in my room and they were so cute. Like, the little kids, they were so cute, loving my room, but they were making a huge mess, stepping on my bed, stepping on my pillows, just messing everything up. And usually my old self before meditation would be so triggered that after they left, I would have to clean my stuffed animals, throw them in the laundry. I would have to like Clorox wipe some of my desk and clean the things that they were playing with. And I would have to do that, or else I wouldn't be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to sleep in the bed where they were stepping. And although like that can bother a lot of people, even people without OCD tendencies, but it would have bothered me that bad where I could not sleep because I would feel like I was dirty just because people were in the presence of my room. But when it happened, I noticed myself so much calmer. I did not care. And recently, even before that, when I cleaned my room, this doesn't sound like a big deal, but when I cleaned my room, I didn't like dust off some parts that I usually would. I didn't become obsessive with cleaning every part of my room. I noticed myself letting go of that attachment to thinking that it wasn't clean unless something was cleaned. Like, I really felt, okay, I hope this isn't boring because I'm like going off of 2 tangents, but these are like, you wouldn't know because you wouldn't understand the feeling that I used to experience versus the feeling when I was cleaning my room recently. I didn't feel obsessive. It felt like spring cleaning, good vibes. And before meditation, I noticed my cleaning changed. This doesn't sound okay. Hold on. We're getting to the other parts. But a cleansiness, is that a word? Cleansiness. It doesn't sound like a word. Was such a big thing for me. And recently I've been feeling so much more chill, so much more I don't care. I'm not going to be dirty if my environment has, dust on my fake plant. As of before, I was really like, I feel itchy if I don't clean certain parts. And so that letting go of the control of my environment sounds so simple, but it's a huge thing for my feeling self. And it feels like I haven't been on the airplane to go to the bathroom, but it feels like I can go to the bathroom on an airplane because I know I won't get sucked away by the germs. That sounds weird, but like I really was. I can't tell. I need to be put in this situation, but I notice myself not overthinking of how tomorrow's gonna go, how the future's gonna go. If, I feel clean and my environment's clean. And let's move on to the next one because I spent so much time on that. It's a huge thing for me, letting go of control and surrendering, which leads me into the second way meditation has impacted me. I am not resonating at all with analytical spirituality and analytical emotions. Let's talk about that. We'll talk less about, even though that's a big thing, we'll talk less about that than I just did. I spent so much time on the cleansiness thing, but it's a huge thing because I would like itch in my skin if things weren't clean, and now I notice myself feeling present even if things aren't clean, which is a big thing for me. So, analytical spirituality. When people try to talk about spirituality from I noticed recently. So the other day, actually, I cried a lot. So I was looking at my cat, and I realized that one day my cat is going to sadly pass away. And I just got really emotional over that. And a lot of the times in my past, before meditation, I didn't let my emotions flow. I would get lazy to cry. Like, if I felt the need to cry, I would be like, that's gonna be way too much work. I don't want to have to blow my nose, get up, like, before bed. And I would just repress my emotions. Anytime I felt, that pull in my throat, I would just push down my emotions. And so the other day, when I noticed that life is eventually going to end for all of us, and it just really just hit me, and it was a bittersweet feeling, but I cried so much. And as I was doing it, I was hugging myself like this and just saying yes, like allowing myself to cry and release any repressed emotions. And all, by the way, every single time I release emotions, I get so intuitive after, like channeled messages, insights. And I really think we bottle our emotions so much and try to analytically judge our emotions, saying like, you shouldn't feel that, it's not a big deal. We talk down our emotions left and right. It does not matter if you are a male or a female. We repress our emotions, every single person. And I thought that I didn't, but I realized that I do. Little moments I repress my emotions. And when I say analytical emotion, something that I don't resonate with trying to conceptualize or trying to identify certain things that you're feeling. I know it's good to like understand what you're feeling and stuff, but I don't think that a lot of people allow themselves to truly feel because they're judging. And even in spiritual people, including myself, a lot of the times I get so analytical with how things should be, the way that you should act, how to manifest, law of attraction, all this analytical stuff, all this stuff in my mind. I view life from an analytical viewpoint, from my masculine. And as I was crying the other day, I had an insight that I just want to be a vessel of emotion, flowing from emotion, not taking life so seriously. We create problems that are not even problems, and that is it all stems back from and I think a lot of people, it all stems back to control versus surrendering, which brings me into a quote that I thought of during a meditation. I am wise enough to create, but I am a fool to control. You are wise enough to, take control of your life. It's not taking control. What you're doing is you are wise enough to create your day with intention. And, if you want to create a business, if you want to create moments, you can create with intention. But to try to control the way that your day's going to play out, to try to control the way that your future's going to play out, we're a fool. And we need to leave that up to God, source, universe, higher self. We cannot control the future. The future doesn't even exist. By the way, everything I'm saying, this is all my insights during meditation. And something that I've been feeling is so much more playful, less serious, less analytical, less judgmental, even towards other people, even towards myself. And I think I'm less analytical towards other people because I'm less analytical towards myself. And so, what was I saying? So, in December, my boyfriend was visiting, and I had this whole bucket list of ideas of things that I wanted to do. Since it was around Christmas, I want to do a lot of festivity or Christmas spirit stuff, like ice skating, go to Pittsburgh and see the lights, make a gingerbread house, all of these, ideas I had in mind, bake cookies, etc., etc. I had all these plans, and we both got COVID for about 10 days, and he only visits for 3 weeks. For 10 days of that trip, it was ruined. And then it was after Christmas. It was like right before Christmas. We had a couple days, and then boom, COVID, and we were very sick. And it's 11:11 right now, so I'm gonna make a wish. Okay. We were very sick, and so my plans were ruined. And I was so mad. And I couldn't do anything about it. And so, what I'm saying is, I tried to control the future by having these plans. And although it's good to set plans here and there, what I think is best is to surrender. Every day we wake up to surrender. I surrender to whatever happens today. God, universe, source, you're in charge. I surrender to your knowing, and I'm just going to be present, because the present moment is when things happen. I think when you set plans, you're trying to control the future, and it can cause stress, anxiety, dread even, or things can get, ruined. Something unexpected can happen, and I think the best thing to do is to surrender to the present moment, because when you do that, that's where you're gonna get energy. When you're putting your energy into the future, you're trying to control, and you're draining your energy without consciously being aware of it. But when you surrender, let's say today I surrender, let's say on the trip with Jordan, I surrendered every day to whatever happened, and whatever it was. Let's say I surrendered. And before COVID, we would still do the things that I had planned, because I would think, oh, it's a good idea, let's go here today. Like, we, in this present moment, we underestimate it all the time. We think we always need control and plans for the future. We need intention today. We need surrendering today, love today, and then the energy will flow. So analytical plans, analytical this, that, judging emotions, resisting emotions, not allowing myself to feel, all of that went away. And with that comes overthinking. It is shredding away. And I am being more present with myself, with others. My mood has increased so much because I'm learning to be present. I'm going to talk more about that, but the next thing that I have experienced, more patience and compassion for others. And I think this is because of the patience and compassion for myself. I'm going to talk about meditation and, what it is in a second. But practically meditation, actually, let's just talk about it right now real quick. So meditation is all about becoming present, right here, right now. And before a meditation, I do not set a goal, because I'm telling you my experience, right? So what if you want to meditate? You want to meditate for this, that, to, be happier, stop overthinking. Real quick, I wrote down vivid dreams. That's something that I'll talk about in a second. But it created, I remember my dreams every single night. When I was in Utah for 3 weeks, I remembered not every single dream, because, apparently we have so many. But I could wake up and tell you what I dreamt about. And so I had to remind myself before going into a meditation, and today, I have to remind myself to not go into it because I want vivid dreams, to not go into it because I want to feel better, to be in a good mood. I go into it with no expectation, but to just be, to be present, to be here. Our ego, okay, the thing that is constantly searching for instant gratification, and meditation is the opposite of instant gratification, because your ego wants to attach itself to something like your phone, like food, like doing something, talking to people. Your ego wants all of these goals. So your ego lives on the time structure, pulling yourself away from this present moment to distract yourself from here, right now. Your ego wants to constantly be stimulated, constantly wants a reward. And when I say, like, let's say you're talking with someone and you're present, it's different when your ego just constantly wants a distraction and wants to be doing something, because you cannot sit with yourself and be bored. So I wrote down that ego, it wants gratification, a reward, it wants power. And so the point is stripping away the ego, which is on this time structure of thinking of the future, thinking of the past, distraction, pulling, that's a channeled word. Pulling, the ego's pulling you away constantly, many different sources, many different things around you that you can be distracted and stimulated by. And we say that we do not have time for meditation, but that's not true. We just don't make it a priority. Because if we have 10 minutes, 10 minutes you could be in the bathroom, 10 minutes you can be getting ready, 10 minutes you can be on your phone. You may not have time for meditation, let's say in the morning, because you have work. And afterwards, let's say you have to cook dinner, for example. And then what afterwards? You're on your phone or something. Like, we do have 10 minutes, no matter how busy of a person you are. We have 10 minutes, we can make 10 minutes. Anyway, so consciousness, I wrote down consciousness is now, meditation is presence. And if you want a goal in meditation, I think that's your ego trying to get power in meditation. And because I've noticed all of these benefits of it, I have had to remind myself to not go into the meditation. I'm sorry if you heard that door open. But to not go into the meditation searching for something that I have to get, like vivid dreams, like being more in a better mood, like less overthinking. I have to constantly remind myself I am going into this to be present, and that is it. Alright, I don't even know where that stemmed from. I forget why I said all of that. It's something that I wanted to mention. So going back to my experience with having more patience and compassion for others as well as myself, meditation is patience, because during the meditation you're gonna have many thoughts that come up. And I want to tell you also, which I'll tell you how to meditate, but you're gonna have to not act on any thoughts. Let's say you have a thought as I'm meditating. This is a thought I've had before. I've woken up late and I go eat breakfast before I meditate. And today actually this happened, which is crazy, but today it was like around 3 p.m. that I meditated. And during the meditation, in the beginning / in the middle, I don't even know, I don't time myself, I had the thought, I actually need to work. Like, I was meditating and my mind was saying, you need to work, it's getting late, you need to edit a video. And you cannot act on that thought. And sometimes it's really hard. People think, oh, I forgot to respond to this person. Oh, I have this email. Oh, like, your mind is going to keep reminding you of the things to bring you away of this present moment and bring you into something else to be stimulated. And by not acting on the thoughts, you are giving yourself space from thought. So that creates patience. Let's say you're in a conversation and maybe you think, I kind of want to get away from this conversation. Consistent meditation teaches you to detach the thought in yourself, and you notice the thought arise, but you dismiss it and it goes away, and then you're patient with the other person. Meditation creates patience in conversation. Like, I'm telling you, I feel as if I am socially awkward, and I'm not. Like, no one would say that I am, but my mind thinks that I am because I overthink so much in conversation. Like, I'm always thinking about, what do I look like? What do I say next? How am I responding? How am I standing? And I'm just thinking way too much. And so has caused me to like not and to really be invested in what the other person's saying. And I noticed this. It's insane. Like I feel so present when people are speaking. I don't feel stressed about what I'm gonna say next, what I'm gonna respond with, because I'm telling you, presence naturally channels you with this energy of how to respond to the present moment. If we try to control how we're gonna respond next to life, to situations, to people, if we try to control the future, we're just gonna mess up. We're gonna be awkward. We're gonna be this, that. It's not gonna be pure. It's not gonna be intentional. It's not gonna be the best. The best will come when you surrender to this present moment. I also wrote down, I do guided meditations, but I do it every other day in the beginning in January, and starting in February, the start of February, I did just guided, straight guided. I never used to last year, and any other year before that, I always did silent meditations, but I had a very crazy experience during one silent meditation that I didn't do it consistently, and this time period I didn't do it consistently, but this one time I just did one silent meditation, and it was crazy. Like the weirdest experience, and I would love to sit here and talk about it, but I want to go on with what, more things that I don't want to lose track. So I wrote down, and that's the other thing, like, I feel more controlled in my talking. Like, I don't feel the need to explain this side story, whereas, that might change if I'm very passionate about something, but I don't feel like I need to over-explain, although I was, actually, so forget about that, because I explained the whole OCD thing. But if I don't feel the need to say something, I won't, and I don't mind that much. Which, that's not that big of a change, but it feels like I feel more controlled in my mind. So, the guided meditations that I did, so this year, all of January, beginning of February, and then in the middle of February, I started doing guided, silent, like every other day. So every other day guided, every other day silent. And Sam Harris is I have an app called Waking Up, and Sam Harris is the one that does the guided meditations. And in one of the theory sections, which is like, he did a introductory course where it was theory, and then it was the meditation itself. So theory, meditation, theory is where he talks about meditation and all about it. But so he said that meditation isn't just about yourself. Meditation isn't something for you. Meditation is actually a social thing, which kind of blew me away, because we do meditation when we're alone. We do it behind the doors. We do it on our own. And he said that it's a social thing, because meditation is about how you are going to show up in the world for other people, for yourself. So yes, it helps yourself, but it's also something that helps your relationships, helps other people, and I've noticed it. I've been getting, which is my next experience, but I just want to say this first. I wrote down, when you are your best self, you inspire others to be and do the same. So meditation helps you show up more presently in the world, more consciously. And when I say consciously, let's say I'm talking to someone and they say something that I don't like, and I can get very emotionally reactive, and I respond to them unconsciously. I get mad, I lash out, I go in this like loophole of emotions that I cannot, control that much. Although I'm not about controlling emotions, but in certain situations, of course, you have to control triggers, you have to control how you respond. But when you're alone, feel free to not control, and feel free to release, crying, release sadness, let those emotions free. But What I mean is, like, people go into unconscious loopholes of reactivity and they're not conscious throughout their day. They spend their time scrolling on social media, half-assing, doing anything. Half-assing, I don't know if that, like, not really aware and focused of what they're doing. They're doing, scrolling here, a little bit over here, throughout the day, just kind of drifting by, and then at the end of the day, they're thinking, what did I even do? Or they get very reactive in a relationship, and they don't really know why they're acting or mad, or why they're getting so reactive at something. So meditation, increases self-awareness, where you feel more conscious. You know what you're talking about. You have the choice to be emotionally triggered or separate yourself from it. In conversations, you are more there. You're more present. You're reacting less. My reaction, like, I feel like, yesterday I had a bad day. A bad day where I was lazy and I was kind of like triggered at myself for not doing anything. But I noticed a shift in my energy thing, and you know what? It's okay. Gave myself time to relax, and I was so relaxed and comfortable in just doing nothing. When my old self would be so mad and frustrated, it would affect maybe my next day. But I gave myself space and allowed myself to just have that day off yesterday and I didn't care. I didn't react to myself for, I didn't get mad at myself like I usually would. I didn't let it affect my next day like it usually would. I have been really in control, it feels like. Listen, I'm not trying to like say, oh, look at me. Like, I'm not trying to make this about I'm like great. Obviously, I have flaws. I am working on it every day. I am just saying all of this because it is meditation. Meditation has been helping me get through all of these things, has been increasing my emotions, has been making me feel more in control of my life instead of just drifting by. So I also wrote down a increase in vulnerability and emotional flow, allowing myself to release. Like I said, I don't feel the need to take life seriously. That's something I've learned, and this is all from being present. Because of the insights that I've had, the lessons that I've had through silence. Silence is the place where you can hear your intuition. And I don't know if you believe in that or not. I don't know. This ASMR podcast is new, and I don't talk about many spiritual things, so I don't know if you, my audience, if you like that, if you're like into that. But I'm gonna stay authentic and say my beliefs that, silence is where you connect to source, God, higher self, and even before, like, I'm spiritual, but I also pray, and I know a lot of spiritual people, like, some of them say, like, prayers for religious people, but it is for everyone. So when you want something, when you want to help someone else, when you want to just be grateful, when you want to speak, you pray, but when you want to listen, you meditate. We cannot just be asking for things out of life without listening. If you pray for others, if you want light and love for the world, if you want, to manifest something, you pray. Meditation is the receiving. Because if you don't meditate, you're not creating any space for what you want to flow into your life. And like I said, do not meditate to get something. Don't meditate for insights. Don't meditate for this, that. Meditate just to be. Because, and then, insights and everything else will follow. But really set the intention just to be present. So, increase vulnerability. I feel more able to be vulnerable with other people, my boyfriend, my family, my friends. I feel able to express myself without feeling like, what are they gonna think? I judge myself less. I take myself less seriously, and I even laugh at some of the thoughts that I have. let's get on to, other crazy things I've experienced. Vivid dreams. I don't know what you're gonna think about this next thing. I haven't even fully processed it. I might also be over-examining, but I keep seeing orbs. I don't know if they're orbs. I don't know what it is. I keep seeing, and I don't have an eye problem. Like, I'm not like, people would say you might want to get your eyes checked. I am seeing light. Like, not all the time. Like, the other day we have a massage chair in my family room. I thought I saw someone sitting there. I even walked over, but there was no one there. I saw a head. That might sound scary to some people, but and what I'm really thinking as being a spiritual person, I'm thinking it has something to do with the third eye. And I do think during meditations, consistently you open your third eye because you see past illusion being this physical world, as well as future past illusion that is not real, because the real thing is right now. Constantly right now. We are always here right now. On top of moments are just moments. I recommend you watching episode 2 of the ASMR, this podcast, because me and Jordan talk about that, about time and the present moment, and recommend that. Okay, and last thing I want to talk about is how to meditate. Keywords: a focus and being. So being present, just being still. A lot of the times let me just say that there are many different ways to meditate, many different techniques, many different things to do. You can do guided meditations, you can do silent meditations. There's many different, guided meditations. It can be meditations on a specific thing, a specific chakra, meditations on loving kindness, meditations on forgiveness, presence. There's many different meditations. You would have to search that up, but the meditations that I like to do and that I just really am passionate about. So like I said, let me just show you. I have an app called Waking Up. I have used Headspace before, but this app, it is actually $100, but it really holds you accountable, and it has an introductory course, like I said, where it has theory and then practice. Daily meditation is at the top, and then it has all of this, and down here it has a lot of different, it's like a podcast type thing, and conversations with people. I haven't, been onto this side. I've watched the Alan Watts collection so far, right there, and within it has many different things as well. So it has that in the app, questions and answers, where I'm pretty sure that people that have this app ask. Oh wait, yeah, never mind. It's just Sam Harris, the person that runs this app, talking about stuff. And then here, this is where they have different meditations. So metta is loving kindness, longer meditations, walking meditations. So many different things. Wow, that's a lot. Introductory course. This is what, if you get the app, you'll start with. It goes from simple meditation to more complex understandings. He's all about turning awareness on itself. Pay attention. Who's paying attention when you have a thought? Where is that thought coming from? Flip a switch when you're focusing outward. Go shoot yourself inward. Where thought, all these things of observation. And let me tell you this, every time he says, if you find yourself lost in thought, don't judge it. Just, focus on where that thought came from. When we get mad because we think meditation is about being silent, it's not. We think meditation is about not refraining yourself from thought. When you notice a thought, you just let it happen, let it go, let it happen, let it go. Thoughts are always going to come and go, and we either have the choice to attach ourselves to it, to keep thinking it, to keep charging it, or we can let it pass and let it go and refocus attention on breath or refocus attention on body. I wrote down, I start all my meditations by focusing on my breath, paying real close attention, taking deep breaths, and then I go into a body scan on my silent meditation. So guided and silent are very different. After I'm done with focusing on my breath, I focus inward on my body, how my body's feeling, and I do a body scan from toe to head. I try to really put my consciousness in that spot. So if I'm sitting here with my hands like this, I try to really think, okay, if I don't move my hand, think of, ready, do this, shut your eyes, put your hands like out, your fingers don't have to be touching, and keep them very, very still. If I don't move my hands, if I keep them very still, and if I don't, look at them, if I don't look at them, if I don't move them, how do I even know that I have hands? And if you ask that question, it really takes you into feeling the energy of the hand. How do you know your hands are there if you can't see it, if you can't move it? And I really try to do that with my whole body. I stay as still as I can, trying to feel the energy of it. When you focus on your breath, when you feel your body, you're present. And so I wrote down observation of thoughts. Anytime a thought arises, you accept it. Don't get mad. You're not supposed to not think. Deeper into the meditation, your mind will calm down because it realizes you're not acting on any thought. You're not charging the thought. So just focus where the thought's coming from and watch it. Like clouds in the sky, you're the beautiful blue sky behind it, you're the awareness. Clouds are like thoughts, they're passing by. They're not there permanently. They don't define anything. They're just there, and your ego is really gonna try to pull you out of the meditation to get you to focus on something. And I encourage you to just be present and just not act on thought. And when I say that you should meditate, from the bottom of my heart, it's one thing that I feel we're lagging behind on. We focus so much on food, eating healthy. I don't know how much the world focuses on, we focus a lot on mental health, we focus a lot on well-being, but it's like meditation is the one thing that can solve so many things, and it's like we don't do it because our ego likes to think that not thinking is pointless. Our ego likes to lie to us and say that meditation won't do anything because we think our minds can do everything all the time. It's actually the complete opposite. Once we stop thinking, as in meditate and be present, channeled messages will flow. Intuitive ideas, creative ideas, life-changing ideas, let me tell you. Okay, this episode was long. I think every episode is going to be longer than the average video. I average around 20-30 minutes, but I can keep going about meditation. I hope that I know in the beginning I really talked about my phobias and future-based thinking, OCD tendencies. I talked about cleaning my room and feeling more chill. Let me just emphasize that a little more, that it's not that I just feel more chill, it's something that has completely shifted. I don't feel the need to control my environment as much as I used to. I don't feel the need to clean up, because when if my bed's not clean, I don't feel clean. And those little kids were all in my bed, and I just threw my stuffed animals right back on there, and I had a great night. I did not let these things affect my mood, and I really think that is what meditation is about. It's like separating yourself from the reality of the situation. Like, everything's gonna be fine. And when we stop getting so analytical in our mind, we start to realize life is playful, life is about experience and following whatever you're feeling in this moment and not controlling it with your mind. Make meditation a priority. Okay? That's the one message from meditating every day. I can tell you it is damn worth it. Like, you are going, if you think about where you'll be in a year if you meditated every day, just think on that. And go into meditations to just be, I don't set a timer. You can. I do guided though, so that can help with, time basis and everything. But 10 minutes, I recommend. I more than recommend it. This is the one thing that I know that is gonna continue. I even questioned, which is great. Oh, I have to say a couple, like 2 more things. So I have PMS, so I get my periods, and I have mood swings. Sorry, men, if this is gross. If you're a guy and it's a normal thing. Anyway, so I don't know if any of you girls get mood swings, but I get mood swings, and before meditation, I would just act on the mood swing. I would just get in it just like that, and I would not know why I'm in a bad mood. I'm just in it, and I felt like I didn't have the choice. I was like victim to my mood swings. But I recently had my period, and my mood swing, I felt a mood swing in my chest. But it was weird because I wasn't in the mood swing. I didn't feel in a bad mood. I just noticed it sitting in my chest. I felt a frustration and annoyingness in my chest, but it's like I just saw it and I didn't feel it. It's like I noticed it there, but I didn't let myself get in it. And once I noticed it, it went away completely. And I think that's what, like, once we put a light on what we're feeling, or when we shine a light on something that does not serve us, something that's unconscious, when we become aware of it, it kind of like dissipates. Like thoughts. In meditation, you observe your thoughts. They arise, and once you watch them arise, it's like pointless, and it goes back. It disappears because you're not taking it seriously. And so I haven't been taking myself seriously in a good way, and I watched my mood swing come up, and I just thought it was funny, and it just went away. Like I said, don't push emotions down. Allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to cry. I learned from meditation, I want to be a vessel of tears. I want to be a flow of emotions so that I can, release all this weight and be more light. And meditation has taught me that. I have had profound insights from meditation. We're done with this notebook. Profound insights, and I could sit here and read to you my journal writings, but I'm just telling you, meditation really just channels. You will get messages. You will get, life changing revelations, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So anyway, that was my experience with it. Of course, I'm not perfect. Of course, I'm gonna get in another mood swing. Of course, I'm gonna have bad days, but I'm just noticing myself handling it differently, and I think that's what meditation is all about. It's really crazy, and I would recommend this out of anything that you do. Make time for this. We are on our phones for doing what? If you're on my phone watching this channel, though, that's okay. But, meditate. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I just went off on a tangent. I guess this ASMR podcast is more whispered rambles, and I really cannot wait for this channel to grow so that I can have guests, and for this podcast to grow so I can have guests. And I just feel like right now I can't have as many as if it were to grow and I were to invite people on it. I will make an effort to have other people, because a podcast isn't necessarily a podcast. unless I'm talking to other people. Is that true? I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to comment below your insights. If you're gonna meditate, let me know. And I really hope to see you in